Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. I still stand by earlier statements that voting Democrat, or if people feel compelled to vote liberal, is definitely a form of harm reduction compared to, the conservatives or the Republicans. But the analogy I use is that it's like you get to decide if you want to be shot in the head or the foot. You aren't going to recover from a gunshot wound to the head, but you will likely be able to recover from a gunshot wound to the foot. Even though you're still going to be hobbling around, there's still a chance to bleed out. It is still not good. But if you had to choose and you were going to get shot either way, I think we all know which one we would choose. But of course, the point of that is that the real goal is to not be shot at all. That would be the most preferable, rational, and sane answer. But that is the context in which I want to present how I talk about harm reduction. And so in that sense, would we rather have another 4 years of Trump doing terrible, awful things, both out in the open and just at an accelerated pace, more so and faster than the Democrats are doing? Yeah. However, as we're going to talk about very shortly, Democrats are still goddamn atrocious. It is really just so clear that they are just two sides of the same neoliberal coin, and yet lots of people still earnestly support the Dems. I understand hesitantly supporting the Dems because I look at the Republicans and just, okay, and you're the only choice. Okay, fine. That I understand, but really, how are there still enthusiastic Democrat supporters, especially after the breaking news today, which is that Biden is going to re-implement Trump's Remain in Mexico policy in November? The Biden administration told the courts late Thursday that it plans to re-implement the Trump-era Remain in Mexico policy in mid-November if it can get buy-in from the neighboring government. Now, to be fair, this shit fuckery has to do with red states. The move comes after an initial victory by Texas and Missouri in a suit that argued the Biden administration too hastily withdrew the policy under which the U.S. transported 70,000 asylum seekers to Mexico to await a determination in their case. And then there's a whole bunch of court stuff, and then ultimately the decision really rests with Mexico and what they decide to do. But it is still so sickening that no matter who's in power, the same terrible things happen. We first saw this with kids in cages being changed to temporary migrant detention centers or whatever the hell it was. So the Biden administration was still keeping kids in cages. They were still turning back lots of refugees and asylum seekers, which again, seeking asylum is not illegal. And then there's, Chief Cop herself, Kamala Harris, saying, do not come. And now the grotesque cherry on top is that this Trump policy is coming back because two states, red states, by the way, argued, withdrew too hastily, so we gotta still detain innocent people on the southern border. And Biden just says, yeah, okay. I know that's an oversimplification. There's a lot of legal stuff going on, but the main point is that once again, the actual answer is to not be shot, right? The actual answer is to have an actual, honest to God set of progressive policies that limit human suffering while also taking care of people. But instead, it is just more of the same that happened under Trump. And that's not hyperbole, and I wish it were, and that is definitely what's bothering me today.